right. Well, welcome in, Braydon. First of all, I don't want to take your thunder. I want you to go ahead and just introduce yourself to anybody watching this.
Yeah, I'm Braydon McKendrick. I'm going into college, junior college. I'm a left-handed pitcher, and I've been working with Justin for about like a year and a half now.
Take me back to when we first started working together at the beginning of last summer.
Yeah.
Where were you at then, and where would you say you're at now in terms of your mental game?
Yeah, I mean, I was at rock bottom when I first started with you. I mean, I came off my worst outing ever, and it was pretty traumatizing to me. And then, I mean, now it's literally just night and day. Like, my confidence is so much up, and um, I mean, I can't put it to words because it's so much different.
When you look back at that moment or that time of your life, what was going through your head when you were pitching or at rock,
Um,
as you say?
yeah, I mean, it was really just like all over the place. I really didn't have like any type of routine. I didn't really know about the mental side of the game. And it was really just all over the place.
When we first started working together, was there anything you knew you needed to work on, or you just knew that you weren't where you wanted to be?
Yeah, I just knew that like it was all mental because it was just like a lot of strikes not being thrown and a lot of walks. So I knew it was more mental than physical because I know I put in the physical work.
And nothing changed from bullpens to games in terms of mechanics, strength. So something was different, and you just couldn't really pinpoint it.
Right.
Were there specific situations in games that affected you more than others?
It was more of just like the walks piling on each other. Like once I had one walk, I kind of lost it. So it was more of just getting ahead with hitters I struggled with.
And you're a lefty. Before, that part of your life, did you pride yourself on being a strike thrower?
Yeah, 100%.
And so you realize, okay, if I'm walking more guys than I'm normally doing, something's off and it's probably not physical.
Right.
When you get into trouble, then versus now, how do you react differently today to give yourself a better chance to get out of it?
Yeah, I think I'm a lot more calm and I've kind of just like trust the process that I have that I've created with you. And I kind of just rely back on the work that we've put in for the last 6 to 8 months. So
In terms of the process, because that's one of my favorite words, but what were some of the things we actually worked on, like some technical skills that you learned that made the biggest difference for you?
yeah, there was a lot of like physical and like mental things that we did. So like for example, like my physical reset cue, like I would always pick it out at the field before I pitched. So like for example, one time it'd be like a house or a tree or whatever, kind of just something to look at, to know like I need to reset and kind of just take a deep breath. And then I mean overall just like my whole reset routine. I think that was the biggest thing that helped me. Just kind of how you talk to yourself definitely worked. I know we've talked about that. Um, and just having a plan going up there. Yeah.
You think having a plan gives you more confidence going into a game?
Yeah, 100%. Because then you just let the plan go.
And you
You
can
don't
trust
have to
it more,
think.
right? Than just
Yeah,
guessing.
you don't have to think.
Talking about the self-talk, have you noticed a difference in how you talk to yourself from back?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, the type of style of pitcher that I am, it's like you kind of have to match that energy with how you talk to yourself. So, I mean, that's how I talk to myself with high energy and confidence. So,
And we spent a lot of work the last 12 months going into the version of you that's at your best. Can you go
right,
a little bit into figuring that out and making the adjustments when it wasn't where it wanted to be?
right.
What would you say, the biggest difference was from you playing at your best energy levels versus not, and how you were able to recognize that? Because I know we spent a lot of time talking about that.
Yeah, I mean, there was definitely some times throughout the season where like it wasn't obviously perfect, where like I didn't have it that day, or like it wasn't my best, and I kind of you could kind of like I feel like with the mental game and what we've been working on, I feel like I was able to recognize that and kind of make adjustments from there. Like for example, one day like I could not throw a breaking ball to save my life. And I kind of recognized that. So I was like, okay, hammer the fastball and then make him chase off speed. So, I mean, it's really just it comes down to your plan and how simple you make it and just following it.
Yeah, and making a plan and diving into the mental game gives you that ability to adjust on the fly instead
Yeah,
of being a one-trick pony who, if I don't have my breaking ball, I'm screwed that day, versus the guy who says, okay, I trust myself enough to rely on my other pitches and still be a good pitcher.
right.
Do you have a specific game this year when it almost felt like everything clicked?
Yeah, I think it's when I pitched at Wrigley. That was probably the funnest thing ever. I kind of had a out of fear of like pitching at stadiums because of like what happened last year. And it was everything happened that night. The plan happened. Everything worked out. So
Yeah, what was the final stat line at Wrigley? Because that was pretty sick to watch.
yeah, it was a complete game shutout. With 6 Ks, 3 walks, and one or two hits.
That's pretty cool. And do you
Yeah.
feel like having a plan and working on the mental game helped you get through that game and not only get through it, but dominate?
Yeah, 100%. I wasn't nervous going into that game like at all. I mean, I was a little bit like obviously like those little jitters that you have, especially pitching at a major league stadium, but like it wasn't like how I would be last year. If that was last year, it'd be like, oh my God, like I'm pitching at Wrigley, like I don't know what to do. There's gonna be so many people there.
Yeah, and we talked about reframing the jitters, right, into
Yeah.
a more of a positive thing. Is that sort of how you went into the game?
Yeah, 100%. Like I kind of just knew like it's a game. You just gotta have fun. And I mean that's what I did. So
Yeah, absolutely. And you just finished a really good senior season. Did you notice a difference in consistency in walks, in strike percentage?
yeah, I mean, I think my strike percentage the year before was like 63. I think this year was like 65, 66. And I think my walk percentage was down like 10%, I like to say.
Which keeps your pitch count low, which gives your team a better chance to win.
Yeah.
For anyone who's curious what like a mental training session looks like, can you walk through what like an average hour with us work would look like?
Yeah. So, I mean, definitely in season, it's literally just hopping on a call for a good 45 to an hour. And it's kind of just talking about like how your day went and then kind of diving into things of like how your last outing went, what can we do to fix it, and kind of just talking through it all. And I think that's the best part about this program. It's you get to kind of talk about how you're feeling about like what happened in your last outing, whether it was good or bad, and you can kind of learn from it and take it into the next outing. So,
Was this your first experience with the mental game?
yeah, it was.
And did you see the value in just being able to talk to somebody about what you were going through instead of maybe keeping it inside and trying to figure it out yourself?
Yeah, 100%. I think even speaking out loud sometimes helps. But I definitely think like getting feedback from somebody is like a game changer.
Was there anything about the entire process that surprised you?
Um, I think that I kind of underestimated the mental game, so I think all of it kind of surprised me. Like even the way that I talked to myself would affect my pitching. I mean, I thought that was crazy.
And this is for more of the parents watching this, but have you seen a difference outside of baseball in how you approach things, how you look at life?
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, I think the mental game isn't just for like baseball. It kind of teaches you more about life. So
You have any examples of things that you have a different approach to now?
yeah, I think just like the confidence I have, like when I talk to people or um yeah, it's really just the confidence that really sticks out to me.
What about, when a game doesn't go your way, how you approach the conversations with your parents or your friends after back then versus now? Do you have a different approach or do you still feel the same like anger and resentment after a bad game?
Yeah, no, I mean, I kind of texted you right after my game, and I'm like, hey, like this was my stat line, and we kind of talked through. We kind of touch on it that night, and then when I go home, I really don't like talk to my parents at all. I kind of just let that night be like that night for me to like let the fumes go out, and the next day it's a new day. So I kind of once I wake up that next day, it's over with and done with. So
And I think that's something you have become really good at is leave it in the past, be able to move on and then attack your process every day so that you make the corrections and go about your next day.
right.
Who would you say, what type of pitchers would you say this program's for?
I think it's for any type of pitcher that is like looking to better their best. Like this is like a step towards like the best pitchers and like what the best pitchers do. So
What about the flip side? Who do you think would not see the benefits from this?
any type of pitcher that like want to put in the work, um, and like anyone that's being like really lazy.
People who don't go all in on their career.
Yeah, right, right.
And if you were to go half in on this program, do you think you'd see the same results?
No, I wouldn't. I think if we didn't spend all the times that like we did on Zoom and like all those videos I had to watch and like do the assignments, I don't really think I would have learned as much as I did. So
Were there any moments, and you can be honest, where you didn't want to get on a call that day, but you still learned something from it and moved forward because you did?
yeah, 100%. And it's like you want like you kind of feel like you don't want to get on the call, but when you do and you kind of just like sit there and talk for 45 minutes, you're like, I'm so glad I did that.
Get things off your chest, learn new things.
Yeah,
Yeah, hear new opinions.
yeah.
Absolutely. Before we started, it takes a lot of bravery to admit that you need work. Did you have any doubts about working together? Did you feel like it was something you could just figure it out on your own?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of knew like I needed to work on the mental game, but I didn't really have confidence going into this. Like, I really had never heard of like a mental coach before, so like I was like, I'm like kind of like suspicious about this, but I mean, like I said, it's been a game changer. So,
And you were already a good pitcher before we started working. So, what did you expect this program to be versus what it actually turned out to be?
I mean, I kind of just expected it to be like I like learn the basics and kind of just try to apply it to like not as much as like being personalized as much as it has been. But it's been very personalized, like I said. And I mean, it's been great. So
And do you think because it was all pitcher specific, it was easier for you to translate what you're learning straight to games?
yeah, 100%. I mean, like talking to another pitcher about it, it's definitely um super easy to do. So
Absolutely. What about the virtual aspect? Did that change anything at all, or was it still perfectly functional, even though we're on a camera talking to each other through text?
yeah, no, I definitely think like it doesn't really matter if it was virtual or in person. I mean, I think that it doesn't really affect it. So
Yeah. And the ability to go on your own time, on your own schedule, means you don't have to go somewhere physical to be there. You get to do it from your home. We've talked in the car, we talked at the gym. It's whatever's easiest
right,
for you, right?
right.
All right. What about a pitcher watching this right now who thinks that they're good enough to figure it out on their own? What would you say to those guys?
You're not. You're not.
Why do you say that?
I just feel like you need somebody to talk to, and especially a guy that's like very well educated, like someone like you, on this type of stuff, like the mental game. I mean, I feel like it's just a step above doing it by yourself.
Is there anything about the experience that you're going to take with you into JUCO that we haven't talked about yet?
I think that I'm definitely gonna bring that confidence to JUCO. I mean, I'm not gonna change what type of pitcher I am just because I'm going to college now. I'm gonna be the same pitcher I am, and I'm gonna walk with that same confidence on the mound.
And that sets you up for success because you're not going in trying to be somebody you're not. You know who you are, you know what makes you good. Who cares if the environment is different? I'm going to go out there and be myself, right?
Right.
That's awesome. For anybody watching this who likes what this conversation has been and wants to follow you, where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram, Braydon McKendrick, Twitter, Braydon M44, and yeah,
Sweet dude. I'm fired up. It's been a
yeah,
pleasure working with you the last year. But this is really only the beginning. You got 4 more years ahead of you and beyond. Keep doing what you're doing, and whatever you want, you can go out there and get. So thank you.
yes, sir, yes, sir.